Hello, 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 my friends. Welcome to week 1 of my brand new channel. It's so good to see you here. Should introduce myself. My name is Sarah, and I have decided to call my channel Aurora Ketovore. Aurora, well, we live on a farm in northern British Columbia, and the Aurora Borealis is so amazingly beautiful year-round. And I thought, well, it's kind of a fitting name. As far as ketovore, I thought, well, that's kind of where I'm at right now, and because right now is when I'm building my channel, I thought, well, I'd put that in there. It's more than just keto. It's a little bit different from carnivore. It's just me, and that's basically what this channel is about. It's about me. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a health professional in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not trying to tell anyone else how to live their life or how to do anything, really. I'm just basically holding myself accountable, and I'm using you to do it. If I can help someone along the way, that is an absolute bonus, and please don't be shy to ask me questions. Put all your comments down below. Maybe subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends. I just want to help, right? And I just want to help me, mainly. So I've been in the ketogenic space probably about 6 years. I found it when I was at my lowest in self-esteem and probably my highest weight. I was right around 220 pounds at that point, and like probably everybody watching this video, there's so much there's so many discrepancies in the health world, and misinformation, and basically at this point, all we can do is what we can do for ourselves. You can only rely on yourself. You do you. You do what's right for your body. You do what's right for your family, for your entire situation, and nobody can take that away from you. You do you, boo. It's very important. So I started, like I said, about 6 years ago. I started out with a bang. Like, I was doing amazing, but the ketogenic world was a different space back then. It was a brand new baby. Like, Atkins has been around for many years, and ketogenic is very similar to Atkins. Atkins is probably what kicked ketogenic off, right? I'd heard about it, but I certainly didn't know how to implement it, and I didn't know. I didn't know what a carb was, really. We didn't learn about that, right? And so when I first started, I actually started listening to a podcast by the two keto dudes of all people, and Richard and Carl. Oh my goodness, they've helped a lot of people along the way. And like I said, I started out with a bang, and I probably lost 30 pounds like in the first couple of months, and it was wonderful. It was great. But I hit a wall. And sometimes you hit these walls and you don't know how to get over it, right? You don't know where to go from there, and at that time it was incredibly challenging. And when my family around me was not eating the same as me, it made it very challenging. And then I had these seasons where I would go off of eating the ketogenic diet, and then it was so hard to get back on, right? I would gain weight, and all of a sudden, okay, I know where this is going. I have diabetes in my family, that there's heart disease in my family, there's lung disease in my family, there's cancer is rampant in my family. So either I have to get control of myself and my crazy eating habits, or I'm going to end up on the same path. And I mean, hey, nobody knows. We can all be on a path. We're all on a path that we don't necessarily know where we're going. All we can do is do the best that we can for ourselves at this moment, right? 2 years from now, I can tell myself, oh, well, if I had just stuck with it for 2 years, imagine where I'd be right now, right? But you have to let bygones be bygones. You have to leave the past in the past where it belongs, and you just have to look towards the future, and you do the best that you can for yourself. Anyway, so it was a constant off and on and off and on. I found different people, different ketogenic gurus to follow, and then things that I just found impossible for my likes, or things that my body didn't like, right? So for instance, eating a high protein diet doesn't work for me. My body just rejects it. It's just that bloats me. That makes me gassy. That makes me not feel good. But the silly thing is, there's hundreds and thousands of people that the protein is exactly what they do need, and it works wonderful for them, and it is so awesome that they can find that. But it didn't work for me, so I had to take me and move it into the space that things did work. And for the longest time, I just simply couldn't find it, right? I simply could not find it. And then so I got into YouTube, watching these YouTube videos of people that are basically on the same path, doing the same thing. And I came across a couple of ladies in particular that I was trying to do, right? And so I just started kind of following them and trying to implement some of their things. Some of their things didn't work for me. Some of them did. And I mean, there's people out there like Dr. Barry and his wife Nisha. They're people that I subscribe to because that's what works for me. Through them, I found people like Carnivore's Angel, Indigo Neely, Lindsay Murphy, Kelly Hogan. She is very much carnivore, right? But so last summer, in the summer of 2022, I was at a brick wall where I just didn't quite know where I was supposed to be going or what I was supposed to be doing, because nothing seemed to be working and I couldn't seem to sustain anything, right? And yet I knew something had to work, because I couldn't quit. You cannot quit, because as soon as I would just let it all hang out and forget about it, the pounds, I worked myself, I gained back every pound that I had lost 6 years ago. And it was very frustrating. It's a person, you don't know what to do, right? But you know that this is the only way, the only path that is working for me is ketogenic. But there's so many forks in the road, and you're trying to find the path that suits you the best, right? So I'm on YouTube, and I'm listening to a YouTube channel from a video from Carnivore's Angel. Her name is Amy, and she was struggling through some things herself. She basically in the same space, right? Very much the same space. And she introduced someone by the name of Dr. Boz, Dr. Annette Bosworth. In fact, this is her book, Any Way You Can. And I started listening to what she had to say, and she's telling the story about how she had read this book by Dr. Annette Bosworth, and how Dr. Boz, this is Dr. Boz's mom, she brought her back from the edge of death, from the brink. She had already struggled with 10 years of leukemia, cancer. And this is the story of how she helped her with a ketogenic diet. And so many things that Carnivore's Angel was talking about just really resonated with me, and how I had such a hard time getting into ketosis, and eventually I listened to every video I could find about Dr. Boz, and only to find out she had her own YouTube channel. The funny thing was, Dr. Boz took me back to the beginning where I had started. And then somewhere along the way, I got caught up in trying all the new things, trying all the latest and the latest and greatest. And it turned out that what I was doing in the beginning was exactly what was right for my body. And it's been quite a journey since then. So that was back about the end of August when I found that, and so I've just been kind of introducing it, and honestly, what it is, it's high fat. It's high fat, it's moderate protein, and it's as low carb as you can possibly get. And that's what I've been doing. And I still have some pounds to lose. I've lost probably around 20 pounds. It's slow, but I don't mind. I would rather it came off slowly than to bomb it off and then gain it all back again. So the only difference that I found between what Dr. Boz teaches and what I was doing in the first place was that there was a protocol to follow, a step by step. What happens if you get to this step and things fall apart? Well, if you follow Dr. Boz, she'll say, okay, now it's time to try this. Now it's time to do that. Implement that, and this is where you need to go from here. There is a clear, set pathway. And yes, every pathway forks, because certain people, say you're following this pathway of high fat, and you find out that your body can't handle dairy. That takes you down this path. I'm blessed that dairy doesn't affect me. My body actually quite works well with dairy, so we're going this way, right? And so she has, this is actually her keto continuum guidelines and how to live your life, right? It's 12 steps, and the first 4 steps are what you do as a beginner. And then from steps 5 to 8 are your baseline. That's where you live. And then steps 9 to 12 are steps that you can take when things are kind of stalling and you need to get to a certain spot, and you can stress it. It's a stressor. You use it as a stressor, as a push, and then you go back to where you live, which is in the middle, right? And so it's so fascinating to have something that you can just focus on that gives you steps, so that there's no confusion. Yes, there's confusion everywhere, because everybody's body responds differently to every single thing, and you just have to find what works for your body, right? Her second book, Keto Continuum, is actually where this comes out of. And if you want a book to read, let me tell you, these 2 books, this is where it's at. And this one, and you can order them on Amazon. You can go onto her website and order them there. She's great. And then the Keto Continuum actually has a workbook that you can use it to go step by step, and she'll take you through each step, and you can't go wrong. So yeah, there you have it. That is my introduction to myself. I'm going to try to vlog weekly, and I'll probably throw in a little bit of everything. We have, like I say, we live on a farm. We have cows, we have chickens, we have a puppy outside and we have a puppy inside, and it makes life very interesting. And my inside puppy's name is Moose, and he's my sidekick. He pretty much goes everywhere with me. And the outside puppy, his name is Max, and so you'll be seeing a lot of them. And a little bit of farm life, a little bit of cooking, and yeah, we'll see you along the way, and hopefully you will get something out of this. And I'm hoping if I can help one person, it only takes one person. If everybody helped one person, what a wonderful world it could be. I'm following Dr. Boz's protocol since the end of August. My daughter joined me in the beginning of September. She was having some anxiety and depression, and just her body was just fighting against her, and she's only in her 20s, right? So she joined me, and she's been having amazing success, and she's just doing so much better. It's been fun to see. And so we've been going along, and the weight has been coming off, and the changes in my health, I guess you could say they're noticeable. 3 weeks ago, my husband was having some problems with his blood pressure, and so he joined me, and he's been doing wonderful. I mean, he's lost like 2 inches off of his waist in like 3 weeks, right? It's inflammation, and he's definitely lost some fat. There's no doubt about that, but we're getting up there. At our age, we don't have the luxury to waste time with eating junk because it's pleasurable. And yes, potatoes are junk. Bread is junk. There, I said it. Sorry, but it is what it is. Obviously, if you're here, you know what I'm talking about. And when you see, read this book any way you can. It is amazing. It is absolutely phenomenal. The difference changing a little thing like just not eating potatoes can do. So basically, my diet is meat, and I started out eating quite a bit of vegetables, and vegetables, there's nothing wrong with them. Dr. Boz will tell you so. But they are a boat. They are a boat to bring fat into your system. So if you're having a bowl of broccoli, make sure it's covered in butter. Maybe throw some sour cream on it. Make it good and fatty. Bacon on top of your broccoli. It's amazing, and it is so frowned upon, but it is so good for you. So as far as week 1 is concerned, I had Christmas. I had these keto products, and my body kind of stalled in that spot. So I wasn't gaining weight, but I wasn't losing weight. And in the past, that would have set me on a tailspin. That would have sent me off to the bag of chips or to the chocolate bars or anything. A heaping plate of spaghetti and meat sauce, right? But because of her protocol and her amazing way, she's a storyteller. She knows how to break things down. You don't go watch some of her YouTube videos. She knows how to explain it. She's an internist. She's a doctor. She's an actual doctor, and she's amazing. So I held the line. I held the line, and I've been digging deeper into her work, into her protocols, and all of a sudden I realized, okay, there's shifts to be made, and I started implementing them, and it worked. It worked beautifully. So I'm going to use this week as my starter week because that's my introduction to the channel. I wanted to give a bit of a background on where I'm coming from, and how I got started. I have lost 20 pounds. I have another 40, 50 to go, right? But I want to use this week as my starter week for the channel. So where I'd like to start out is, so I'll take Monday is basically my day one, and I also am. It's kind of sad that I'm starting it that way because this week was the week where I woke up and I'm like, I feel like I need to do a workout. I feel like I need to stress my body. I feel like I need to do something. And so I did a workout on Monday morning and I ached the next 2 days. And Wednesday, I did another workout. So I follow Dr. Jade Tita. Um, if you go online and look for him, you can find the Metabolic Prime is the one that I follow for an older person. Maybe I don't know, but I love how he's not about the crazy jumping around, and I'm not into cardio. I want to stress my muscles, right? That's what I want to do. I'm trying very hard not to lose muscle. I'm trying to gain muscle, and you do that by with resistance training, and so that's what I'm trying to do. He implements a lot of weights and using your body. Um, so that's what I've been doing. It's not a long. I also find that if I have to hammer away at a workout for an hour or two, it's not going to happen, right? Whereas the Metabolic Prime, they're 15-minute workouts. You go for it, you do it, you get her done, and then you get on with your day. And it's only 3 times a week. It's Monday. You do it whenever it works best for you. But I like to do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I also work those days, and so it's a good way to. It just kind of leads me off for the day, and I just feel better. I feel better in my day when I can actually get it done. And then, like I say, we live on a farm, so there's always chores to be done, and you know, there's you can go for walks. I can walk for a mile and not see a single person, right? So there's lots of activity, always lots of activity on a farm. So I thought I would kind of do a breakdown of my week so far. I usually wear a Fitbit, and it tracks my sleep, and that's something I've worked on for years is getting more sleep. And Dr. Balls talks about it a lot too, how deeply important it is to get sleep. And it was tough for me because we were the kind of people that we would stay up till midnight, and then I'd want to sleep late in the morning, and it just doesn't work. And so I would still stay up late, and then I would get up too early, and I don't I don't function well on not enough sleep. My husband, on the other hand, he can go on 5 hours of sleep for a whole week and not have it affect him. Right? Whereas for me, it's a big deal. So I've been doing pretty good about getting usually between 7 and 9 hours of sleep at night. Um, I've been checking I've definitely my weight stall has blossomed. So I started Monday out at 185 pounds, and this morning I was 184.4. So that's less than a pound lost in 1 week, but that's not that's not the concern, right? Like, I mean, face it, the scale's a bloody liar, and the only reason that I weigh in every single morning is it it lights my fire. Like, it really fires me up, and it's like, okay, now we're gonna hit this day and we're gonna do it right, right? Um, some people, if you're weighing every day, it can just drag you down, and it can work in the opposite direction, right? So you do what works for you. For me, I like to weigh every day. Um, I have been checking my blood glucose and my blood ketones every morning, and I have and my Dr. Boz ratio, and I think maybe in my next video I'll do a deeper dive into some of Dr. Boz's protocols and her Dr. Boz ratio. Um, like she says, the first 6 weeks of a ketogenic diet, don't bother with those numbers. Like, first you need to get into ketosis, and if that and the best thing you can do is purchase a bottle of the ketone urine strips, where you just go pee on a stick, and it'll tell you if you're in ketosis or not, right? And yeah, so hopefully I've inspired you and given you something to think about, and hopefully you'll be back. So like I say, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the little notification bell so that when my next video comes in, you'll be the first to know, and we will see you then.